Hey, this is Todd from thestringclub.com. This is Vibrato on the Violin or Viola Part 2. If you're new to vibrato, I would definitely suggest that you start with video number 1. There's a lot of good information in there that will help you avoid going down dead ends and getting you started with the correct motions for vibrato. Step number 2 is a fairly simple step if you've already mastered step number 1. We're still going to play silently, and we're still going to use either arm or wrist vibrato. Hopefully after you've practiced step number 1 for a while, you've decided which one of them feels more natural to you, and so you can stick with that. The main difference now is that we're going to put the fingers on the string instead of the top of the instrument like this. Now the most important adjustment that we have to do when we switch from the top to the string is that we have to rotate our hand this direction. That rotation, this direction, is called supination. It's very important when we start pressing on the string. A lot of people, when they start vibrato, will press the side of the finger really firmly up against the side of the fingerboard, and that's going to make it extremely difficult or impossible to do a good vibrato. So it's very important to rotate out away and have a little gap here between the side of your hand and finger and the fingerboard. Okay, now it's very important when we start the vibrato motion to make sure that your finger is traveling down the string as much as possible and not sideways. A lot of my students will start off with this kind of motion for vibrato, and you'll notice that I'm going side to side instead of down the string like this. This is what we want. You want to make sure that you're pressing lightly. Don't squeeze really hard with that finger on the string. Again, that really makes it hard to move fluidly as you do your vibrato. Touch as lightly as you can get away with while still holding the string down. You don't want to press so lightly that you're not actually touching the string to the fingerboard, or that it's coming up away from the fingerboard as you make the vibrato motion. But touch as lightly as you can with that finger still pressing the string into the fingerboard. So again, set a metronome at 60 and play quarter notes. Until you're comfortable with that, then switch to eighth notes. 1 and 2 and. Then triplets. Then sixteenths. And then 16th note triplets. And eventually 32nd notes. So here's a slow motion of how each finger looks in both arm vibrato and wrist vibrato. Here is wrist vibrato. And here's arm vibrato. Please remember that with wrist vibrato, we don't want to move the arm, just the wrist and the hand. And with arm vibrato, we don't want to move the wrist. When you move both, you're just wasting a lot of motion. One other thing to notice is that when you use vibrato on any specific finger, we want to lift the others away just slightly. Try not to let them stick way up, but we do need to kind of get them out of the way a little bit. So you'll notice that I'm letting the other fingers kind of drift away from the fingerboard slightly. That allows me to make a wide motion without fingers interfering. So again, remember to practice this daily. It's very important to consistently remind your hand and your muscles exactly what motions they need to do. It takes a long time to learn these strange motions. If there are large gaps, say several days between times that you practice, you'll find that you're just kind of staying in the same place. You've plateaued, and your muscles have to be reminded of this motion every single time. You won't be building forward. It's very easy to get daily practice because it's silent and only takes a few minutes. So thank you for watching. I hope this has been very valuable, and we'll be back with part 3 after a short time.